Welcome into First Pitch for Friday, April 21st. I am Drew Martin, joined by Brian Power, Steve Merrill, and Tokyo Brandon of WagerTalk.com. And we got a full slate of games for this packed Friday card. Also a big weekend of sports betting ahead for you. So we're going to get right into the games here. Brian, start off with you. Big game breakdown. Cincinnati Reds, the Pittsburgh Pirates. What are we thinking? Fade away on the Reds, the home team, the Pirates. What do you like at PNC Park here, Brian?
Well, Drew, coming into the year, the Pirates were not a team I expected to bet on very often, especially after the O'Neal Cruz injury. But wouldn't you know, I've taken them each of the last 2 days and cashed. 14-3 win at Colorado, 4-3 win last night at home over these very Reds. And before we get to tonight's game, let's know the Pirates, guys, break them up. 13-7 on the year, plus 20 run differential. 4-0 as favorites as well. I look at the WagerTalk screen over here. They're around minus 145 tonight, give or take, depending on the book, as they get ready to face the Reds again, of course. And this Reds team, guys, the Bucks have done well against them, at least going back to late last season, 8-2. The last 10 head-to-head meetings are the Pirates. Mitch Keller gets the nod tonight. He's been the most profitable starter in this rotation thus far. Small size, obviously. But team's 3-1 in his 4 starts. He's posted 3 consecutive quality outings. But, Drew, there are 2 things that keep the Pirates as just a lean for me tonight and not an official play on my card. 1, they did only have 4 hits last night. 3 of those coming in the first inning when they got all their runs. And then 2, Graham Ashcraft starting for the Reds. He's 3 for 3 in terms of quality outings in 2023. That includes a win over the Pirates back on April 2nd. I actually played Ashcraft in that game, oh, by the way. But still, it is pretty difficult to ignore some troubling trends for the Reds, guys. Just 1-6 on the road, only 4-11 as a dog, home or road. It's not a client play, Drew, but I would lean to the home team in this NL Central battle Friday evening.
Yeah, I see that, Brian. I mean, it's been a rough go of it for the Reds here. A beautiful ballpark, PNC Park. Good big game breakdown there from our leadoff hitter, Brian Power. Check him out, WagerTalk.com, guys. Number 1 MLB handicapper since last October, going back to last playoffs there. He's on a 67% run, up nearly 50% profit in that time frame. So check him out for this weekend's MLB slate. Also, make sure to check out Steve Merrill, big game breakdown up next. He's on a 100% streak here this week in MLB and NBA plays combined. So, hey, Steve, you're seeing it well, man. Big game breakdown. I'm seeing the A's and the Rangers. Hey, is this just fade away on the Athletics here? Or, hey, you think it's a bounce back spot heading into Texas here, Steve?
Yeah, Drew, I don't like to catch falling knives. And the Oakland A's are the biggest, heaviest falling knife in recent history in MLB. So there's really probably never a time to look to back them. But the question is, do we just keep fading them? And I think we definitely fade them here with Texas. And there's a couple reasons I wanted to talk about this game in the big game breakdown. First of all, just came out yesterday on Wednesday that looks like the A's are moving to Las Vegas. Teddy Covers and I dug into this deep today on Wager Talk today. So I recommend people go back and watch the replay here from Friday's episode of Wager Talk today on Wager Talk TV. And it would be after the 2024 seasons. Oakland finishes out this year. They'd be in Oakland again next year. They still have to get a stadium built. There's a lot of public funding. So Teddy said it is not a lock, but they're looking to buy some land right on the strip there near the other stadiums. So Oakland's in a free fall. They've been in a free fall for several years, and I don't think this news all of a sudden gives them any reason to start playing harder. Now, it is a road game, but the other reason I wanted to talk about this is because on the other side of the coin, Texas was a play-on team for me. And you remember we did the preview show here earlier in the season, and I also talked about this on other shows that Texas was my play-on team in the American League for a couple reasons. I thought the rule changes would really benefit the Rangers, a team that was a lot better than their losing record last year, first of all. Close losses, one-run games, and whatnot. But I thought the stolen base increase this year would benefit them as they were a league leader in stolen bases last year. That has not been the case. But the other thing I thought that would benefit them has definitely been the case, and that's no more shift, because the shift really hurts left-handed hitters. Texas has a solid left-handed lineup, and they've been a really good team so far this season. These are just two teams heading in exact opposite directions. And while the price is getting up there, the minus 200 range, no problem playing the run line, getting it down to near pick'em situation. Not only is Oakland 3-16, but they are losing by margin. You look at this current 7-game losing streak, they've lost by 10, 9, and 11 in 3 of those losses. They get blown out quite often. Bad offense, bad pitching. And Texas, meanwhile, good offensive team in excellent current form. 4 straight wins. They have put up 9 runs or more in 3 of those last 4 wins. So different ways to play this. I'm not a big favorite of laying 2-1, so let's take it down on the run line if you're going to look at it. Maybe minus 1.5, minus 105 with one of the most underrated teams in baseball against, without question, the worst team in baseball tonight.
Yeah, fade away on the A's. Love the breakdown. Hey, Steve, just a quick follow-up here. Do you think it has any impact on your handicap on the A's this year and next year with them moving, or no, not really going forward? You're not going to even downgrade them more than you already have?
Right. I think it's a negative in general for teams when they're in a dead city, but the A's are so bad and so dead right now. You can't get no more dead Drew Martin than the A's are right now.
Yeah.
Steve Merrill at Steve Merrill on Twitter. Guys, check him out. WagerTalk.com. Again, 100% this week. He's seeing it well. NBA, MLB combined. Let's head to Tokyo, Brandon, on the other side of the world. I say on the other side of the world, guys. He's handicapping MLB. He's got KBO, Korean baseball. I believe Japanese baseball as well. And guys, he's seeing it well. Number 1 handicapper, all sports, last 30 days. You're looking for a handicapper this weekend. Check out Tokyo Brandon, multiple sports here on the diamond. Tokyo Brandon, I believe our big game breakdown here, LA Angels, Kansas City Royals. Is this one of these? This is what I have it circled as. Kind of the same theme as the first 2 big game breakdowns. Fade away, kind of on the weak teams here. Kansas City off to a rough start. However, they are getting plus 240 up against Ohtani. This seems like a big task for the Royals heading into Southern California. What are you liking in Anaheim tonight here, Tokyo Brandon?
Yeah, plus 240 sounds good until you lose the bet. So Shohei Ohtani's on the mound against Taylor Clark, and looking up, history, Taylor Clark has a bad history against the Angels. As a matter of fact, if you look at his career, the only time he pitched more than 60 innings was with the Diamondbacks about 4 years ago, and he had a 1.37 whip. Doesn't stand too good for him. The Angels really try hard when Ohtani's on the mound because they know that's pretty much their only chance of winning a game is when he's pitching. So even this year, a lot of people liked the Angels coming into this year as their win total over. I didn't, because still the bullpen is just still the bullpen. I thought the Angels bullpen was one of the worst in MLB until I kind of looked at the peripherals. If you break down, bullpen collective FIP, Angels pretty good, actually. 3.6 is not so bad compared to the Royals 5.47. So the bullpen advantage, big on the Angels. If you look at the collective lineup, WOBA, LA Angels 315, Royals 272. I see the Angels having every advantage here, and I'm going to say something that might make some people mad, but Shohei Ohtani, he's the best two-way player. He's better than Babe Ruth as a two-way player. Babe Ruth is probably the best power hitter in the history of Major League Baseball. The best pure hitter, Tony Gwynn, by far. But the best two-way player is Shohei Ohtani by far. And he's on the mound today. He is actually vying for the Cy Young Award, and he could hit 20 home runs. That's just amazing what he's doing. Um, Anyone who bets baseball knows the golden rule is don't lay the run line at home. I'm breaking that rule today. I think the Angels win this by more than 2, even at home. Even if they only get 8 innings of at bats, I like the Angels minus 1.5 here. They're minus 305 on the run line. So betting or minus 305 on the money line. So betting the run line is pretty much the only way you can do this. So I like it. I like Shohei Ohtani on the mound. He knows he's vying for the Cy Young Award. He knows he's making human history here. So I look for a good start for him, and I look for Taylor Clark to be Taylor Clark.
Like the breakdown there, Tokyo Brandon. Hey, breaking the rule of run line on the home team. That's how much he's liking the Halos here. So fade away on the Royals. A little bit of fade away on the week to start up here. Big game breakdown for the Friday night slate. Let us know what you're looking to bet here, guys, in the live chat box. WagerTalk YouTube. Also check out this this promo coupon we have, 50% off for first-time WagerTalk users. Try WT at checkout. That's TRYWT at checkout for any daily play or 3-day all access pass. Takes 50% off for first-time WagerTalk users. Again, that's Try WT at checkout for that 50% off. Huge shout out to the chat box here, guys. We got Jay Cool, Vegas DGen in the house. Vegas DGen, let us know what you think of the A's possibly moving to Las Vegas. We got Big Blue Jays in the house saying they should change the name to Aces, more of a Vegas theme, and keep the same A on the cap. Interesting take there, guys. Let us know what you think the new Vegas baseball team, if it does happen, what their name should be, if they should keep the A's. I think it's going to be a huge success from a business standpoint, guys. If they put a retractable roof stadium anywhere near the Strip, I just think it's gonna be like Petco Park type atmosphere, Wrigleyville type atmosphere. I think it's gonna be a big success. Think about it, like a weekend series. You're gonna want to go to Vegas and check out your team playing the A's. I think it's a great decision with the move. And I know Brian Power and I talked about it on the Hustle earlier this week. He kind of agreed. Steve said he broke it down. Wager Talk today with Teddy Covers. So check out that, the Friday episode. Tokyo Brandon, hey, we've hung out in Vegas. You think it will be a success from like a business standpoint? How do you think the move will go?
Sure. I mean, Las Vegas, we've seen with the Raiders moving to Las Vegas, now that the stigma of gambling is removed from professional sports, Raiders highly successful, even though they're not successful on the field. I think they should change their name to the Las Vegas High Rollers or something like that. I don't think Aces will fly. Change their team colors to black and red and do something cool. Yeah, I think it'll fly really well, actually.
Well, keep in mind, too, I thought Aces as well. I thought of that for about half a second when I was doing the show earlier, Drew, and I remembered the basketball
Women's
teams, the
basketball.
Aces.
Yeah, the
So
WNBA
they definitely
team.
cannot do that. Brandon, I personally hope they keep athletics because it was the Philadelphia Athletics 100 years ago, the Oakland Athletics. I kind of think it would be a shame to change that name. And I didn't mean to rhyme. I just can't help it. But I mean, that's an iconic name. It's one of the first original franchises. So I think it would actually be kind of a unfortunate outcome, especially as good as the A's were in Oakland back in their heyday, to lose that name in baseball. But that's
keep
just
the name and change the colors to black and red and keep the name. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting take there, guys. Let us know in the chat box in the reply section below. And from Tokyo Brandon's point with the Raiders being a success, also keep in mind, the hockey team, a big success as well. And if you just go by ticket prices for the Raiders, I don't know if you've ever looked at them, Tokyo Brandon. Man, it is expensive just to get into the stadium. I mean, you're up there in the nosebleeds. It's hundreds of dollars just to get in. So, yeah, I would say it's a pretty successful venture there. But, guys, let's get into best bets here. We'll go around the horn. Any final thoughts for the show? Feel free to throw it out as well. Brian Power, can start back off with you here. I'm seeing best bet looking towards the Baltimore Orioles. Speaking of good teams, well, you go back to the halfway part of last season. They're one of the best teams in baseball here, Brian. And again, guys, a reminder, check out Brian Power, WagerTalk.com. #1 MLB since going back to, speaking of last season, last October, 67%. Up nearly plus 50% profit in his MLB play. So, Brian, take it away. Any final thoughts here for the show, and where are you heading for best bets?
Yeah, let's see how we do this. The dogs weren't barking in those big game breakdowns, but unfortunately mine is because Mrs. Power had the Amazon guy come to the door apparently here. So let's see if we can get through this quick. And I didn't put the dog behind the door. That's my bad, unprofessional guys. But you mentioned Baltimore was such a great team to bet on last year, Drew. I think this is a good spot to step in and fade them against a bad Detroit team. As Steve said, Oakland is clearly the worst team in baseball right now. Detroit is on that short list of probably second worst teams. I don't know if they are the second worst, but they're bottom 5 for sure. They just had a 5-game win streak snapped on Wednesday. So I think it's a good time to step in and fade them. Baltimore returns home after shutting out the Nationals in back-to-back games. Orioles pitching staff, by the way, guys, has not allowed a single run in the last 26 innings of work. And Tyler Wells, I would not be scared of his ERA as his whip is far more respectable. Michael Lorenzen's not a good starter for the Tigers at all. He started the year on the injured list. His one start didn't go well. Tigers had to rally back from a big deficit to win in 11 innings. This is how I'll play this. I'll keep it short and sweet because this dog is going absolutely crazy upstairs. I know it's got to be annoying to listen to. If the full game price is too juicy for you, and it is up to minus 180, so I realize it's full juicy for me. So it's pretty juicy for most of you. I would lay the half run in the first 5 innings. I think Baltimore gets off to a good start here and gets it done. Baltimore Orioles first 5 innings is my best bet for the show.
Dogs are barking. Maybe on tonight's slate. Brian Power, guys. Again, check him out. WagerTalk.com. Good breakdown overall. Dealing with the elements there, Brian. Heading down the list here, guys. Steve Merrill. Again, guys, 100% run here. MLB, NBA run this week. We do have a comment here, Steve, from Sabino saying, do you have a quick opinion in Cubs Dodgers? That game goes off in 5 minutes. Urias is on the hill for the Dodgers. However, I think the Cubs playing some good baseball, catching a plus 150 price tag, and the Dodgers kind of banged up. It's not one that you know I gave to the clients or anything, Sabino. I appreciate the question in here. But if you need some day action, and the only day game, of course, in Wrigley Field on a Friday, you know, that 2:20 start, I would go with the home Cubbies here, plus the big price tag with, speaking of the dogs barking, hitting the chat box here. Steve, if you have any comment here on the day game, also your best bets and any final thoughts for the show on the 100% run here, Steve Merrill.
Yeah, the Dodgers are just 7-9 in all games where Urias doesn't start. They're 3-1 with him on the mound. So that's definitely been their best chance to win this year. They've kind of underachieved otherwise. So I stayed off that game this afternoon on Friday. Do have a strong best bet tonight on Friday, though, as we keep that 100% perfect run going this week. Haven't missed a single best bet in the MLB or the NBA this week, and it's not a surprise. It's one of the reasons I'm ranked number 1 in both NBA and number 1 in MLB, both in 2023. It's been a fantastic year, and it continues tonight on Friday with a strong MLB best bet. Big NBA playoff action this weekend as well. Don't forget to check out WagerTalk TV this weekend. I'll be on at 11 a.m. Eastern Saturday on Last Call with Megan Payton. Also going to have a Fade the Public NBA playoff edition for Saturday as well here on WagerTalk TV. So hit subscribe, hit the bell for instant alerts. I mentioned the baseball best bet, the 100% run. A game that was just a bit outside from making the cut is going to be the free play for Friday night, and that's the Houston Astros. I'll take the defending World Series champs at plus money here at Atlanta. Now, I know Atlanta's been playing excellent baseball, but do you know they're the only team in MLB after 19 games that has not faced a winning opponent yet this season? Now, it's a little misleading, you'd say, because they did play San Diego a couple sets earlier this year. San Diego currently below 500, but it's not like Atlanta put them below 500 because Atlanta got swept in 3 games in early April at home against the Padres. They're coming off a road set against Kansas City and the Padres, in which they did win 2 out of 3, but they didn't look very good in that last game. They got shut out, had only 4 hits. In fact, they've had 7 hits or less in 3 of those last 4 road games, 8 hits or less in all 4. They do have a day off, but so does Houston. And I think there's some good momentum with the Astros, who've put up 8 runs or more now in 3 of their past 5 games. They're starting to heat up, and they're the exact opposite. They're 9-10 on the season. They played 12 games against winning teams. Atlanta's played none. Step up in class for both squads tonight, and I think the defending World Series champs have some value in that situation. Take a look at the Houston Astros, one of the best teams in baseball, and a rare opportunity to still get them at even money in some locations. Houston Astros, your free play tonight. That goes tonight on Friday. And let's get that start time of that interleague game for you. It's 7:20 Eastern, a little bit of a weird start time. 7:20 Eastern tonight. I also have a strong MLB best bet. And don't forget, you can save an instant $100 on all sports for a full month right now on my page with promo code SM30PASS. Full details and a free play, Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com.
Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Again, guys, 100% this week, MLB, NBA run. Huge shout out to Swiss Solus with, I guess, the leader in the clubhouse for the comment of the show, Brian Power. He says, the dogs didn't like that best bet. Howlin'. I thought that was good. A little LOL there in the chat, man.
Yeah, the guy at the door finally left. It was the Amazon guy. I don't know who it was. I don't know who Mrs. Powers got covered around here anymore, but he finally left. Sorry about that. That was just
Dog might have saved your life. It might have been an intruder.
Yeah. Who do you
ripping that dog, and he just saved Brian. He just saved Brian Powers' life.
We would have our first violent act.
Put him down halfway through the show. I thought the Amazon guy brought a lot of beef jerky. Brian loves to order beef jerky. I figured it was a big load coming, but I guess it was something different.
Swiss Solus, thanks for the comment, man. That was a good one. Tough follow here, guys. But speaking of dogs barking, I got one, a home dog, Arizona Diamondbacks, guys. I was on them last night, and they lost 7-5. I was on them on the run line. They out-hit the Padres 12-7. A really tough loss to take, but to tell you the truth, I'm coming back on them. A little bit of, I guess we could say, revenge here after last night's loss. And a couple reasons why. Zach Gallen going for the D-backs here. He's hot right now. I love betting on hot pitchers. He hasn't allowed a run in the last 14 innings. That's going back since April 4th. He's been on a scoreless streak here. I think he projects well against this Padres lineup. Interestingly enough, found this out. Bobblehead night is tomorrow night for Zach Allen's 44-inning scoreless streak last year, if you remember. That's a franchise record. Thought that was an interesting tidbit. Seth Lugo going for the Padres. He has a 9 ERA in Chase Field. I love fading pitchers that have kind of struggled in the venue they're pitching in this particular game. Last time out, he only lasted 3.2 innings. And a lot of people out there, the headlines pointing towards Fernando Tatis being back in the Padres lineup. However, a lot of their big bats are cold right now, guys. When you look at, just go down their lineup here, keep in mind they're under 500 on the season, the Padres, after spending all of that money. And just last night, Tatis, Soto, and Machado 0 for 13 last night, including Tatis 0 for 5 in his major league debut this season. And last thing here, in the bullpen, their best lefty pitcher and actually their closer, both lefties here, Hader and Hill, back-to-back days out of the bullpen. So questions there if they'll be available in the later innings. All of that putting me on the Arizona Diamondbacks plus 100, the low water mark. So if you're needing an underdog, I would go with the Arizona Diamondbacks in bounce back mode. Heading to the other side of the world here, Tokyo Brandon, best bet. I believe we have a prop here on one of the Colorado Rockies, Charlie Blackmon. Interested in your breakdown. Number one all sports last 30 days. Again, multiple leagues here, guys. If you like betting, let them know, Tokyo Brandon, if it's KBO, any other leagues out there. And any final thoughts for the show, and where are you heading for best bets?
Yeah, I do KBO, Japanese baseball, and Major League Baseball, but I'm doing a rare prop. I don't do a lot of props, but, a stat really popped out to me. And when I do props for individuals, you can do total bases, and things like that. I don't like total bases props because walks don't count for your total bases. But when you do hits plus runs plus RBIs, if you get a walk, it can contribute to scoring a run or something like that. So I like the hits, runs, RBIs prop a little better. And today, Charlie Blackmon is plus money, plus 105 against Aaron Nola. And if you look at the career stats, just mind-boggling how good Charlie Blackmon is against Aaron Nola in his career. He's got 21 at-bats. He's got 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He's hitting 381 against Aaron Nola in his career. And this is not a tiny sample size. This is a pretty good sample size. OPS 1190. I mean, Charlie Blackmon crushes Aaron Nola. And that was before Aaron Nola started fading. Aaron Nola is kind of fading this season. He used to be really good, and Charlie Blackmon accumulated these stats against him when he was pitching well. So I think Charlie Blackmon has a really good chance to go over 1.5 runs, RBIs, hits combined. That's a prop that I like. I'm not putting a huge amount of money on it, but maybe a little 1% play there for some pizza money. I think it's a good bet, though. Charlie Blackmon to at least get 1.5 hits plus RBIs plus runs against Aaron Nola today.
Little player prop for best bets here. Tokyo Brandon. Again, guys, last 30 days, number one, wagertalk.com. So we got the Arizona Diamondbacks, low water mark, a plus 100. Home dog is barking. Brian Power, Baltimore, first five, minus that half a run, minus 115. Tokyo Brandon, just heard it there. Charlie Blackman, over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, plus money on that. And Steve Merrill, Houston Astros at the pick'em price, plus 100. So check out Brian Power, Tokyo Brandon, Steve Merrill, and also let us know, guys, in the reply section in the chat box, if you have $100, whose best bet are you going with tonight? Or maybe, hey, all four, a little 3-1, 4-0, we'll take it. So check out Brian Power, Tokyo Brandon, Steve Merrill, wagertalk.com, guys. Remember that coupon code TRYWT at checkout takes 50% off first-time users. I am Drew Martin. We'll be back tomorrow morning. Like Steve Merrill there, Brian Power on the last call Saturday morning, 11 a.m. right here, Wager Talk YouTube channel. So, guys, please smash that like button. Feel free to comment below. Have a great weekend. Cash those tickets.
Have you checked out all the new handicappers at WagerTalk? If not, here's your chance. You can take 50% off your first daily or 3-day all-access purchase at WagerTalk using coupon code TRYWT. Our new roster of experts is 30 deep, covering sports from all around the world, giving you tons of options to choose from. All you have to do to redeem this offer is go to wagertalk.com, choose a handicapper of your choice, and use coupon code TRYWT at checkout, saving 50% on your first purchase.